On the scorching highway in Texas, just because of a shattered watermelon by the roadside, a family suddenly learned a costly lesson about love and the most important things in life. Sometimes, it only takes meeting the right person, hearing the right words, for us to realize what makes us lose is not money, but relationships that seem to have been exchanged for our own selfishness. On the federal highway I-35 in Texas, under the sweltering heat of the American summer, the Parker family was driving to Dallas to attend their niece's birthday party. James Parker, his wife Emily, and their 4-year-old son Max sat in the silver SUV, with a lovely gift box for the party in the back. As the car crossed a long bridge over the Brazos River, Max suddenly shouted, "Daddy, watermelons! Watermelons!" James looked to the right and saw a girl about 12 years old standing by the roadside, next to an old wooden table with several large, round watermelons. Under the scorching sun, the girl stood silently, beads of sweat glistening on her forehead. James stopped the car and rolled down the window. Emily asked gently, "How much are the watermelons, dear?" The girl looked up and politely answered, "Ma'am, $10 each." Emily smiled softly, trying to bargain. "I'll pay only $8. This heat is making the watermelons too soft." The girl hesitated, then shook her head. "I'm sorry, Mom. I can't sell for less than $10. These are from my family's garden, and my mother told me to keep the price." Emily was slightly annoyed, but still tried to speak gently. "Come on, my little boy really wants one. $8, okay?" The girl looked at Max, seeing the little boy sticking his head out of the window, his big round eyes sparkling as he looked at the watermelon, smiling sweetly. "All right, for this cute little brother, I'll sell it for $8. The girl carefully carried the watermelon into the car. Max happily received it, but his hands were still small. The watermelon was heavy, and it fell to the roadside, shattering. Pieces of fresh pink watermelon scattered at their feet. Max burst into tears. My watermelon! My watermelon!" The girl quickly ran over to comfort him. "Don't cry, little one. I'll get you another one." Without hesitation, she rushed back to the table and carried another watermelon. Emily hurriedly said, No, you can give it to him, but I won't pay extra, okay? It was the boy who dropped it." The girl smiled, her eyes showing a sadness that adults could hardly recognize. "It's all right, ma'am. He reminds me of my little brother. He was only 3 years old, but he went to heaven last year." Emily froze, feeling a lump in her throat. Under the scorching Texas sun, the petite girl stood there bravely, keeping her gentle smile, though her heart was filled with loss. The girl smiled, but in her eyes there was hidden sadness. "I handed it to him because I thought he could hold it. He reminds me of my little brother." Emily paused and gently asked, How's your little brother?" The girl's eyes suddenly turned red. Her voice trembled. "My little brother's name was Danny. He was only 3 years old. Last year, our whole family just celebrated his birthday in the backyard. But then, he had a severe fever. Within a few days, we lost him forever." She tried to smile, but her lips quivered. "Every time I see adorable little children like him, it feels like seeing Danny coming back." Emily was speechless. The girl gently placed the second watermelon into Max's lap and whispered, "Hold it tight, little one. I don't need the money. I call him my brother, and my mother once taught me. In family, people don't measure with money." James and Emily looked at each other. In their hearts arose a very different feeling. The disputes over family assets in both sides of the family during the past few months suddenly seemed so small and insignificant. Emily opened her handbag and took out a small silver bracelet, the gift they had prepared for their niece's birthday party. She handed it to the girl. "Take it, dear. This is a gift from a mother to a daughter she cherishes." The girl hesitated. "But what would I do with such an expensive gift?" Emily smiled. "Because you've treated my son as your little brother, I want to treat you like my daughter." At that moment, James quietly turned away and dialed his brother's number. His voice choked as the person on the other end picked up. "Brother, you keep the store downtown. I'll take the smaller one in the suburbs." It's all right. The voice on the other end was stunned. What were you saying? Were we taking this to court? James took a deep breath. His eyes reddened as he looked at the girl standing in the Texas sun and wind, holding the silver bracelet tightly. I just realized in family, if we keep measuring and competing, the only thing we lose is our loved ones. This story reminds us of a simple yet profound truth. In life, especially in family and social relationships, what matters most is not money, benefits, or calculations of gain and loss, but love, compassion, and the willingness to sacrifice for one another. When we keep calculating and competing, fighting over small personal gains, what we truly lose are the loved ones around us. But when we place love above personal interests, we will receive a profound peace and happiness that no material possession can buy. The girl in the story, though still young, already understood this. With her pure heart and the memory of her late younger brother, she was willing to give away the second watermelon without expecting any payment in return. That gesture touched the heart of James, who was entangled in the property dispute with his own brother. Through a lesson from a child, he suddenly realized that what truly matters in life does not lie in having a larger or smaller share of assets, but in preserving family bonds and cherishing the people we love. Love, sacrifice, and understanding are the strongest foundation for building lasting relationships. When people know how to let go of their ego and put others before their own interests, they will find the true value of happiness.